What's up, everybody? Bender42 here, and we're with Cabalet today. Cabalet, say hi.
Hi.
Very nice. And our video today, we thought it'd be really fun to check out stream tips and kind of what website are we using, Cabalet? I don't even know. We're going to go through a website of like the top 10 tips. She says no. I don't know what we're doing today.
No, I don't know what's the website, but that's the first website you find on Google. One of the first you will find if you type how to grow on Twitch or tips for streaming or stuff like that. So that's one of the main uh, link you can find.
We'll put the link in the description of the video. Yeah. So we're going to just read through the list. And then, we've been doing this for 3 years. So, I still don't know what I'm doing, but at least we could discuss these tips and if they're valid and if they're good tips or not. So let's jump right into it. Cabalets. I know everyone wants the French perspective on the matter. So number one, I don't know if this is really ranked 1 through 10, like in order of importance, but I guess we'll see. Make sure your microphone isn't horrible. That is the number one tip. Make sure your microphone isn't
is,
horrible.
is that the way they wrote it?
Yeah, I read it
Oh
straight
my
from that.
God, that's a little rough. Like, I mean,
Well, not only the microphone, which I think the microphone is the most important thing, and you could jump in, Cabalet. Some people don't have the settings correct. I'm still working on getting the settings absolutely 100%. But what do you have to say on the subject, Cabalet? Is that an important thing?
I really agree about the microphone being an important thing because when I first started, I was using, like this gaming headset on the Xbox where you hear people talking like this. That was kind of awful because when I rewatched like the VODs and everything, people were barely able to hear me. And we got to keep in mind that streaming, this is entertainment, big time. So if people don't understand you because your microphone is like making some weird noises all the time, yeah, that's kind of a big deal. At the meantime, I don't think you need to have like very fancy thing either.
I Two things for me. I think whatever, everyone's working with like a different budget, especially if you're first starting. Maybe you have a shitty microphone, but try to test out the microphone and figure out the proper settings so it doesn't sound completely shitty. You don't, like you said, you don't have to have complete high definition surround sound, beautiful microphone audio or whatever, but try to work with it. Maybe that particular microphone does not sound good really close to your mouth, and the gesture that I just made did not look very good. Maybe you should move it farther away from you. Do some testing, record yourself, and see how you sound. Because I know a lot of people actually have good microphones, but they don't sound that good because they don't have the proper settings. There's a lot of YouTube videos out there to help you. And the second thing I was going to say, I actually recommend as like a starter microphone if you're looking to invest a tiny bit of money. Well, not a tiny, but the Blue Yeti microphone. That's the one that you use now, Cabalet. I recommend that microphone. That was my second microphone. And I think it costs about $90 US, but I think it sounds good if you have the proper settings.
I really, really, really like it. And if we were actually on a video about the Blue Yeti, I got a right there. We could make a beautiful video about it, but I'm gonna try to keep it short. I think it's amazing. You can change the settings depending on what you do. If you do streaming, if you do singing, if you do different stuff. So that's a really cool microphone considering of the price. One thing that I would suggest, I'm somebody that's extremely loud, and that happened that when I'm playing FPS game, I scream a lot. So I think it's not only about the microphone, but that's also about the filter you're gonna add either to OBS or the different like software you can find that will lower your voice if you start to scream. I think that's something very important even I should do.
Yes. Nothing is worse than when they call it peaking on OBS when you go into the red category, and I've done that too, and it's like cringy to hear. It's like, no, my ears. So
Mhm.
that happens to the best of us. Just make sure you're hitting the green or the yellow in OBS. But as for that, I think the microphone is really one of the most important things, more so than the webcam, really, because if you don't have proper sound and you don't have any sound, maybe
Hi.
that's a big deal. I think so. I think they're right on that. That is a very important thing. Well, let me ask you this. I mean, I don't want to spend too much time on number one, but could a person succeed without a microphone at all? I think people could succeed without maybe a webcam, but without a microphone, I mean, is there really a market for people that just want to watch gameplay of a video
There
game?
is. There is a very well-known streamer, a lady that cannot talk, that actually is huge on Twitch because of the fact that she can talk, but she has an incredible gameplay. But I got to say, it's one
There
maybe
you
in a
go.
million.
Well, I think there are actually members of our community that don't speak at all, and I think you really got to find what works for you. Your niche there where maybe you don't need your voice and you're doing something really unique and exciting. So of course you could find a way. Find a way. Let's move on to number 2, which is have a good internet connection. You'll notice right now, Cabalette has a shit internet connection or a shit computer sometimes because you're moving like 1 frame per second. That's not on my end, dude. That's the French connection over there. You
They're
gotta.
working on my connection lately. I don't know what they
Mm-hmm.
are doing to my poor connection, so
Well,
I
they better
apologize about
they
it.
better get on that because it's pissing me off. But anyway,
I mean, it's not something you can really control. Like, there is some towns and cities where you can't have a good internet connection because there's no cables for it, there's nothing. So, unfortunately, I kind of agree that it's important to have like a good internet connection because otherwise, like, nobody's going to be able to watch. So, I mean,
definitely
that's kind of an obvious point to me. I don't know
that.
if it's really a tips to grow on Twitch
Well,
because,
not
like,
only that, the good internet, some people have like acceptable internet, but they maybe cannot stream at like 60 frames per second at 1080p. Some people have to maybe lower it down. And that also has to do with your computer and your hardware too. But you got to find the proper settings where maybe the stream is looking acceptable. So definitely check out your VODs and make sure your frame rate, it's not like going 1 frame per second or you're having a lot of issues with buffering during the stream because that's really going to. That's really going to fuck you up if you're streaming and you're having a lot of buffering issues. People are not going to want to watch that no matter how good you are as a streamer. So I think that's also very important. Good internet connection. Some of us are screwed though. There's an internet test you could do online. Mine is usually 100 up and 100 down, and that works pretty well.
can
Cabalet's
I
stuck.
mention somebody?
Yeah, of course.
Packers.
Yeah, I got that
Sorry,
Packers internet.
Packers.
Packers is a great friend of ours. He's got, I don't know, I think he's stealing the Wi-Fi from the neighbors. We love Packers. It happens, dude. It happens.
Wait,
It's a
I love
tough.
his stream anyway. I love his stream
Well,
anyway.
yeah, that's a tough situation. What do you do if there's no other cable company in your town and you're just stuck with that and that's that? I really don't have an answer for it. Maybe
Well, maybe do recordings then,
one thing
because
you could do,
recording
yeah,
is actually
recordings
better
and
than
there
recording
you
for you.
go. That's a great idea. Upload it to YouTube and make sure if you do, especially if you have shitty internet, make sure there's no one watching Netflix in your house and nothing else is going on with the internet. And make sure your
I
connection,
love the phone.
yeah, yeah, the AOL days. Make sure your computer's actually plugged in to the Ethernet. Don't use wireless. You should be doing that if you're a gamer too. You should be plugging
I mean,
it
even
in.
with a good connection, I got a cable. I wouldn't like
Still,
a
if it was
Wi-Fi.
going Wi-Fi, yeah, exactly. If it was Wi-Fi, it would be even worse. So, not that Wi-Fi's bad, but it's just faster when it's connected. So, keep that in mind. And then, do we have anything else to say on that subject?
No,
I think that's also a good one.
Yeah.
Maybe even more important than the microphone. I'm not sure. Here's one. Number 3, get a webcam.
This is such a controversial topic. Is that how you say it? 'Cause so
Yeah,
many
I would
people,
say,
like,
yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to. I did mean to interrupt because that's what I do. I love interrupting.
No, you can go for it. There was a little frame on my end. That's why
Okay.
I was like looking so
Um,
confused. I was scared.
Yeah, I think the people that don't use a microphone, remember, you got to do what works for you. So when I say a microphone is very important, if using a microphone is not an issue, I don't want to say required, but if it's not an option for you, if it's not an option for you to use a microphone, and it's not an option for you, maybe you're uncomfortable using a webcam, don't use it. With that being said, I do like to see streamers' reactions a lot, and maybe it's not an issue of how good the webcam is, but I know the lighting is a huge factor too. So I think it will definitely benefit your channel if you do use a webcam. But if you're so against it and you're not comfortable using one, don't use one. What's your thoughts on the subject, Cabalet?
Well, you know that this is so stupid, but so many people thought I was a fake before I started using the camera. That
I
sounds
did.
so cocky from me.
I
I
thought
know
you
I
were
don't
fake.
sound modest at all when I say that.
No,
But that's true.
I thought you were fake. Even with your video, I thought you were fucking fake. I was like, I'm getting trolled or something. There's no way this is a real person, or I don't even know what. But yeah, keep going.
So yeah, one day I'm gonna say I decided. I didn't decide. I've been really encouraged to start using a camera, and that's really changed my streaming career to starting using a camera because people realize that I make a lot of different faces when I'm upset, when I'm angry. Sometimes I make my eyes cross, like, and that my audience really loves it. So I think that was a huge plus. Maybe some of you are gonna say, "Oh, it's because you're a lady," and I don't know.
Yeah.
No,
Well, let me jump on that.
I really have fun faces. I swear.
I was about to say, I mean, let's face it. If you're a good-looking person, it really benefits you. But that's not. If you're do you spill? Do you?
I don't know what happened. Oh, I swear, it jumped to my face.
I'm
I'm
gonna
so
get a
sorry.
slow motion replay of that right now. I will. I know how to zoom in now on my editing software. I'm definitely gonna capture that in slow mo. But what I was gonna say,
Okay.
I was gonna say,
Okay.
if you're a good looking person, you should definitely have a webcam. Why not? If you're not so good looking, like me, first of all, I think you're very good looking, and I know you're distracted by Cabalet trying to fucking clean. I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about the people that are gonna say. There's a lot of people that say, "Well, I don't have a webcam because I'm not very good looking." It doesn't matter what you think anyway. First of all, I bet you are good looking, but even if you aren't, people want to see that reaction. People want to see you talk. I feel it's just like radio and television. I'd much rather watch television and see what the person looks like, and their reactions in real time. That's just me though, and I think a lot of other people feel the same way.
I agree. I totally agree. I totally agree. And I also would like to mention that, it's not only about just your facial like expression and everything, it's also your body movement and everything. It's on everything. It's super nice to see somebody IRL. And I really encourage actually streamers that are using this camera to try to show their emotion. Don't be there, wow, I got an amazing play. You see with your face not moving, smile, be happy, do something.
You
Do it.
got 3 seconds, in my opinion. If a new viewer comes in, I think it's less than that. It's a nanosecond for me. I could tell if I'm gonna like the streamer or not. But yeah, exactly what you just said. Be animated. I always say use your hands if you can. You could practice at that and really get better. So be animated. Don't sit there and be asleep, I guess, because viewers probably don't want to see that. They want to see the energy, right? The energy.
Yeah, there is some chill stream where, but still, you can still like be animated
Absolutely.
with being a chill stream.
Yeah, I think so too. Everyone's got their different personalities, so don't try to be someone you're not. So if you really are a chill person, that's fine. But you could still, I see a lot of streamers are sleeping. What am I supposed to feel if I go to you and you go to your stream and you're sleeping? Then I'm gonna go to sleep. So
Yeah, I
yeah,
agree.
yeah.
I agree.
Yeah. Okay, let's move on from that one. But
Hmm.
webcams are good, not necessarily end all be all, but they are definitely, I think they help if that's an option for you. But if you're completely uncomfortable with it, skip it. Make sure you have a good microphone then. The fourth one here on this list is make a HUD. I guess they're talking about like the tops of what's on the side of your screen. Well, let me read what they say because they have an explanation for it. Make a HUD. Now that we have all the hardware under control, let's jump over to the software side of streaming. They use OBS to do all of this, but there's an alternative, blah, 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 like XSplit. Make sure that your stream looks good and stands out of the crowd. Put a border around where your webcam is and make sure that you have a pop-up notification when someone follows or donates. This will encourage other viewers to do the same. Okay. Cabalet, what do you say about that? Make a HUD.
Okay, so if I get that right, the HUD is like the camera's overlay, the
And
images,
the
the,
notifications that pop
the
up as well.
notifications.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I totally get it. Oh yeah, I think it's absolutely great. I think it's absolutely great, but at the meantime, I think it's not that great if, for example, you're starting to grow a little bit. That depends on like what level you are. If like you are new to streaming and everything, I think it's absolutely awesome because you need to encourage to acknowledge the people who are joining your chat, who are following you, who are subbing to you, etc., etc. I think it's so freaking important, like big time, And so that way you don't miss like just a notification in chat. It pops, you see it. It's nice. But if you're receiving like a lot of notification all at once, that's very annoying. That happened to me when I got follow botted. My notification were that's awful. But
you'll get
exceptional cases.
Right,
so.
you'll get good and know how to defend yourself against shit like that. That happens rarely.
Mhm.
But as far as making a HUD goes, I think this would be number 4 on the list so far. It's important, but I think a microphone and a good microphone and a good webcam, if you're using them, are more important. And I think probably the most important is a good internet connection. As far as a HUD goes, I've seen a lot of great streamers that really don't have any overlays at all. It's just them, but their camera looks good. And I'm like, I have no problem with that. Kind of the minimalist approach, and that's good. As far as
Go for it.
As
Sorry.
far as the notifications go, for when you get like a donation or something, those are awesome. But that's like a it's important, but I wouldn't say it's as important as a strong internet connection. So I think
Mhm.
that definitely adds to your stream. Definitely adds to
Mhm.
the value of your stream. But go ahead.
I agree, but at the same time, you gotta be careful not to fall on the trap of having too much going on. If that's really the style of your stream, I've seen some streamer having a lot of shit going on their stream, which looks very awesome. But if it looks too messy, if it's not organized, and there is way too many elements, that's gonna look like trash.
Same thing. Not only on your screen, they're talking about the screen HUD, like actually on, but also the panels, especially on Twitch. I know they got the panels, and sometimes a lot of it looks disorganized and unprofessional. I mean, I'm as unprofessional as they come, but I give the illusion of professionalism, which is nice. And you can too. I mean, make yourself look professional, try to organize it, and sometimes a little bit goes a long way. You don't have to be, like you said, putting a thing on every inch of your screen, because a lot of people, especially if you're a gamer, they want to see your health bar. They want to see the stuff that's going on the stream. So, yeah.
I agree. I totally agree.
Also, what I try to do, bonus tip for me, if you're a gamer, I try to move my camera a little bit around depending on what game I'm playing. Like I know the health bar on Overwatch is on the left side, and I don't like to be blocking the health bar because I know for me, when I'm watching a streamer, I want to see their health and where they're at. So if you're blocking it, it's like, so I do kind of move myself around the webcam anyway. If you use OBS, I highly recommend it depending on what game you're playing. Yeah.
That's for sure.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to number
Oh,
6.
just one last thing about the HUD that just
No!
jumped to my
Fuck
face.
you, we're
Yes,
moving
yes, yes,
on.
yes.
Oh, okay.
That's so important. Don't make the fucking notification pop on your face. Why anybody would do that? I see some streamer doing that. Stop doing
That
this.
sounded weirdly sexual too. Don't let the notification pop on your face.
Yeah, you know, like they put like the notification alert
Yeah.
right on their camera. So when
Yeah.
the notification pop, instead of us seeing, oh, cool reaction, we're seeing this fucking alert.
That's a good tip. That's a good tip. Don't block you. They want the people. I know for me, I'm speaking for myself, and I know a lot of people think the way I do. When I make a donation or a sub or something to somebody, I want to see their reaction getting it because I'm a nerd. It's just like if you give somebody a gift on Christmas, you want to see their reaction when they open it. If it's a good gift, you want to see it. If you're
You don't
ashamed of
want
the
to
gift,
see
maybe not.
them like, oh my god, what an amazing gift!
Yeah,
Thank you so
there
much.
you go. So that is a good tip. I didn't really think about that because a lot of time the notification does pop up and block your initial reaction, and I could guarantee, I want to see that. I want to see if I made you happy or not. That's awesome. So that's a good tip. Good one, Cavalette. Dropping some knowledge. Number 6, get a chatbot. That's number 6. Get
a
chat.
chatbot is 6?
Yeah, it's 6. Get a chatbot.
I don't think it should be number 6. I mean, I don't know if it's an order of priority.
Right now, your video is frozen. It's yeah. Oh, okay, it's back. Yeah, yeah. It's stuck on your. It's stuck on that face that you just made too. It's stuck
No
on
way.
the face.
There's no way.
It's stuck on your. All right, now it's back. It's having.
Okay.
We're using Discord for this call, and it's having trouble.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, you ruin everything. You ruin everything for me. Anyway.
Well, I forgot the point number 4, the internet connection. That's
yeah, right. You're one of the most important ones. But number 6, get a chatbot. How do you feel about chatbot? What is it, and why is it good?
So the chatbot, this is. Am I wrong? This is the chat.
This I guess they're talking about night. Like
okay.
Nightbot?
No, they're talking about the bots like Nightbots, May6 and everything. So that's a little bot that's gonna join your chat and moderate your chat or give the shout out and everything. Okay, I was confusing
it's
with
a
the
little.
chat
It's
box.
a little what?
I heard the chat box. That's why I was so confused.
It's a little. It's a little what?
It's a little what?
I'm asking you. It's a little what? Did you say? You said
know.
It's a chat what?
I don't remember.
You said it's a chat bot, but it sounded like you said a chat butt.
I never say but.
She always
say chat but.
When she says bot, it sounds like butt because she's French and it's funny.
So yeah, I think these are good. I think these are really good. I use personally this for the shout outs and everything, so that way that makes things way faster. But at the meantime, like people overuse it and think that's good maybe for the chatbot to remove caps, to remove remove emotes. That's one of the big mistakes I see from every new streamer, to have Nightbot just removing whenever people post more than 3 emotes. And I mean, if somebody drops the hype, they're just getting bullied right away. It's not
Mm-hmm.
nice.
I think that definitely keeps, and actually, I skipped number 5 by accident. We'll go back. A chatbot, I think, is just like the making of a HUD thing. I think, again, the internet connection is more important, but definitely the chatbots help keep your stream organized and nice. So I would definitely look into one of them. The one thing I was talking about before is that each bot kind of does something that I really like. So I have a bunch of bots working in my channel. One time, Nightbot and Stream Elements were having a battle in my chat. It was awesome. They kept Stream Elements bot kept deleting Nightbot's message, and it was just going
No
down. It
way.
was awesome. It was
That's so
amazing.
fun.
But yeah, it's definitely important to keep your look into them. If you don't know what a chatbot is, I don't really want to talk about it too long because it's kind of boring. But it definitely keeps your chat organized and maybe bans potential predators on the spot if you have an automated system, and you know, enforces your chat rules better, makes everything nice and dainty.
Yeah, but don't go too crazy too, you know, like, because if your chatbot is constantly dropping rules and dropping whatever, that's not nice.
Well, actually, that's a good tip because I have the automated. You could make it so your chatbot will give an automated message in your chat, and sometimes I feel like people abuse that a little bit, and like every 2 minutes it's dropping something else. As a viewer, like I don't mind that if I'm watching my friends. I don't, of course, whatever. Follow you on Twitter, fine. But as a new viewer, that might be a turnoff for some people. Just seeing, they'll follow if they want to, and that kind of feels like they're being a little bit pressured into following on Twitter or whatever. So I don't know. Maybe you want to.
Follow me.
Yeah, I think the chatbot dropping those messages is good, but in moderation. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
In
yeah, you got to
moderation.
find a good balance.
I agree. Well, that's just life, isn't it? Got to find a good balance. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. I skipped number.
Okay, go for it.
I skipped number 5 by accident. And this is a good one. I think we talked about this before. And this is stream something that people watch but don't stream. So really what they're getting at is the oversaturated thing. And they're insisting that you do not stream something like Fortnite or League of Legends because those are too popular and lots of people already stream them. And they're suggesting that you stream something that maybe is a lot of people watch, which if you find this game, let me know. A lot of people watch, but not a lot of people stream. It's like the golden egg.
Like Rock Company at some point.
I don't think a lot of people watch that though, because if a lot of people did watch it, there'd be more people streaming
That's
it.
right.
That's the
I'm gonna tell you what, when I was
broke.
streaming,
Hey,
Rock
wait a
Company,
minute.
I had a lot of new followers.
So there
from
you go. There you go.
But I'm very torn on the subject because when I started streaming, I was on Titanfall 2. The director of Titanfall 2 averaged 100 viewers. That means not 100 viewers for you, of course, but between all the different 50 channels. And I was struggling at a 10 viewers average. Then I decided to switch for Fortnite. And Fortnite oversaturated game big time, especially because that was when Ninja was going full on every day on Twitch and whatever. And I actually boosted my viewers big time, and that's when I unlocked the 70 viewers average, because I did unlock this. That was when I was on Fortnite and not on another game.
Well, that's usually from who I talk to. They don't have the same. I mean, I could agree with you because I had the same results with Fortnite when it was oversaturated, but I think 100% of the people that I talk to have not found any success with Fortnite. And they say it's too oversaturated. There's too many people streaming it. So yeah, that's what I've heard. But me and your experiences are different. I think if you bring something, this article is right, and I've said this before. Supply and demand. If there's a lot of supply of Fortnite streamers, that's great. But if there's also high demand, you might, it's going to be hard to enter that market. But if there's not a lot of supply and a lot of demand, that's really what this article is saying. Do that. But as far as Fortnite goes, everyone says it's oversaturated. You can't compete with everybody else. I mean, if you bring something unique to the table, I really think that you can. So I kind of disagree with this notion that you shouldn't even try to play Fortnite. Mm-hmm. You really have to do what works for you. And I'm not saying what I'm saying is going to work for you. But you got to try, try different stuff. If you're really into Fortnite and you bring something unique to the table, I think you could definitely succeed with Fortnite.
I agree, and I think you should play the game that is matching with you. That's maybe not gonna make sense, but I'm gonna explain myself. For example, I love playing FPS game. If tomorrow I play Rocket League, or a Super Mario, I'm not going to be as entertaining as when I'm playing an FPS game, because when I play FPS game, you see, I'm really into it. I'm very passionate about it. If I play Super Mario, I really like Super Mario games and everything. I think they're nice and fun and everything, but I'm not going to bring the same entertainment. And I notice I never get as much viewers that likes me for like my entertainment when I'm playing another game than an FPS game. And again, also I got an exception on that, is that I got an oversaturated more or less game that I'm streaming sometime, which is Overwatch. I'm not working well on Overwatch for some reasons. Every time I play Overwatch, nobody's
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
So I think that
Well,
depends on the people, because I know a lot of people who succeed on Overwatch.
that's the thing too. I mean, it really does take consistency. So doing one stream, if you're getting a bright idea now, it's like, oh, I'm gonna try Fortnite, and then your first stream doesn't go well. Don't come crying to me. You know, that's one stream. You really have to, with this whole streaming thing. That's why I say you got to do stuff that you enjoy. You really do have to play stuff that you enjoy. But it takes a while. So if you had a shit week of Fortnite, that really doesn't mean you failed. It just means it might take a little bit more. Now, again, not really again, but I'm not telling you to keep doing the same thing over and over again if it's not working for you. But I think you really got to gauge it yourself. And if you need to switch something up, switch it up. But as far as this message goes that this website is telling you to do, I don't know if I necessarily agree 100%. And I think a lot of people would give the answer, well, play whatever you like. Hey, if you're just streaming for a hobby and you just want to play whatever you want, that's perfectly fine. I play what I want too, but I'm also a little bit strategic, a tiny bit, on what games I'm choosing and what I'm doing. Just because I know the people that watch me are expecting a certain type of game, and I don't want to let them down, man. You know what I mean? I don't want to let them down.
Yeah, I think what you said is extremely true, and I really insist on the fact that you should take amount of time to like decide if something's working for you or not. Because I see so many new streamers who think that things are gonna change in a week. Things never change in a week. Like seriously, even when I got the biggest bump ever on my channel, that's when I joined like a super wonderful community that you guys may know and everything. And I was actually switching for Fortnite and everything. I seen the big changes in 2 months, and that
I,
was the fastest I ever done in my career. I've
yeah.
been on Twitch for 4 years, something like this, or at least
On that, on what you're saying, just to go off what you're saying, I'll jump to number 9, because number 9 is kind of what we're talking about, is be consistent. And we're not talking about consistent for a week's time. I always say there's networking, which is great. There's your content, and there's consistency. Consistency over the long term. I think people really have the tendency on any walk of life. They're going to do something for about a week. It's not working for them. And they're like, well, I tried. It didn't fucking work like he said it was. No, this is going to take a long time. Not only to do it right, but doing it right for a long time is tough to do. So staying consistent is number 9. What do you think about that, Cavalette?
Oh my
Yeah, I
god, I'm
said
the
it
most
all.
terrible
Yeah.
person to
Oh, yeah, she's terrible. That's right.
I am terrible. I don't know how to manage my schedule with IRL work and the emotes commission I do and everything. So I'm terrible with it. But at the same time, I totally agree. And this is because I've done this giant mistake to not being consistent when I was able to be consistent. That I noticed that, yeah, if you're not consistent.
I also am pretty bad at it, but I'm getting better. But yeah, you know firsthand because you aren't consistent with your streaming, and you see there, you see what happens. You see what happens.
Yeah, you can say it.
Well, I mean, you see what I mean. It's no big deal. Again, you got to enjoy it. So if you miss a stream, don't beat yourself up over it, but make a schedule, stick to the schedule. Same thing with the networking. Get yourself out there and continue. And the more the longer it goes on, hopefully the more attractive you are, the more people
Yeah,
will.
and don't go too crazy with your schedule either, because if you decide to stream 7 days, all week long for 6 hours stream, that's gonna get you tired. It's a marathon.
Marathon.
It's a
But
marathon.
but I think we want to hear you say it in French.
C'est un marathon.
C'est un marathon. C'est un marathon.
It's a marathon.
Exactly. It's a marathon, not a sprint, is what she's saying. That's my saying. You stole that from me. And I think people treat it like a sprint. They start streaming and they're going hardcore, and then they're sad.
Then they're getting burned out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Number 7 is an important one, especially for new streamers, which we're all I consider, well, smaller streamers will say, which is us. Interact with your viewers. What do you think about that, Cabalet? Interacting with your viewers. No interaction?
You should not focus on the
Okay.
game. Don't speak. Don't do anything.
Well,
Go
that
for
is
it.
true, though. Some people just play the game and that's all. But I mean, I think in this market now, and I've went on other speeches about this, the way that Twitch is and the way that streaming is, Ninja could get away with that. And I get a lot of comments on our videos saying, well, Ninja doesn't do it. Well, you're not Ninja. You're not Ninja, pal. I'm sorry to break it to you. You're not Ninja or Tim the Tap Man. They're on top of the list. People are going to come to them because they have a huge fan base. But as far as we go, you and me and Cabalet and anybody, not anybody watching this, but we're assuming that, you don't have 30,000 viewers in your channel. If you do, fantastic. But if you're like us, I think a lot of people are going into a smaller streamer for the first time and they want a chat interaction. When they say hello, they want you to say hello back. They want to build a relationship with you in that way. So don't try to do what Ninja's doing and just think you're going to freaking be famous. That's not going to, I advise against that. I don't think that's going to work.
Well, Ninja said it himself that when he first started, he was interacting with his chat, and that's how he found his best moderators.
There you go. So he did it. So Ninja didn't do it that way. You can't just compare yourself to Ninja who has 30,000 viewers. That's stupid. That's like, I used this before. It's like if you want to get into acting and you're complaining about how Brad Pitt doesn't have to do any auditions anymore, and you do. Yeah, Brad Pitt
Yeah,
is Brad Pitt, and you're just starting out. So stop comparing yourself to where Brad Pitt is now. Maybe go back and see what Brad Pitt did to become a famous actor, and maybe you could get some inspiration that way. Yeah, thank you. Cabalet
Yeah,
agrees.
I'm like the little dogs, that you punch on
Yeah,
the face, and they're
yeah,
like,
yeah. Thank you for agreeing with me. But yeah, interact with your viewers. Definitely try to pay attention to that chat. Remember, even when you have 0 viewers, there could be somebody watching you, which there usually is, actually. And you got to keep talking, and if they do say something in chat, make sure you acknowledge them. That's what people want. They want to be
I
acknowledged.
agree, because seriously, there is some sneaky friendos out there. Really, that happens that sometimes I say something funny in my chat, and the person type, ha ha ha, very funny. And I see them for the first time. And then they type follow age, which shows like how long they've been following. And they've been following me for the last 2 years. And that's the first time I see them in my chat.
My great grandmother had a great saying. There's always somebody watching you. She was really talking about sneaky people, not on Twitch.
Yeah. What's she talking
same
about?
thing. Well, she was talking about how if you're talking about somebody, even if that person isn't around, if you're in public, there's always could be somebody that knows that person that could overhear what you're saying about them. But that really doesn't have anything to do with what we're talking about. But we move on. Interact with your viewers. Huge one, I think. Huge one. If you want to grow your audience, if you're a new streamer, interact with your viewers no matter what game you're playing. Interact with them. Acknowledge them. Acknowledge them when they come into chat.
And also, last little point, do not be on slow mode, because, if you don't have like a chat popping like crazy while using slow mode.
Well, here's one too.
With your streamer, and the delay is pretty bad too. Unless you're hosting a tournament. Sorry, go for it.
What about, I see a lot of, well, I think we got into this before too, but followers only mode. Some people have to use it because they're getting trolled and stuff. But as far as, I'll give you my opinion on it. If I'm in a new streamer that I don't know and they have followers only mode on, I would like to chat something. I want to see if they want to interact with me first. You know what I mean? So I want to chat and say hello and see if they're going to say hello back,
Yeah,
because
I don't like to be forced, yeah.
Yeah, so it is good for certain things, and sometimes I have to turn it on. But just think about that, If that's your thing, you want to have followers only mode on to protect yourself, great. If, just think about that, though, because people do want that interaction. They want to see before following if you're going to interact with them. And the last one is...
Didn't you skip some?
No.
No? Okay.
Well, I went to 9 and then went back to 6 and 7.
Oh, okay.
Okay, wait, actually, here's number 8.
Oh, number 8, yeah, that's it.
We got 8 and 10 left.
Okay.
And actually, I disagree with this one big time, dude. Oh my God, I'm glad this is on the list.
That is it. Oh my God.
Talk to someone when you're streaming. It doesn't work for me. It doesn't work for me. That's good for some people, and that's good for a lot of people, actually. For me, well, let me just read what they mean by this too. Talk to someone when you are streaming. Before you start streaming, start up a Skype call with one of your friends because for a little while, no one will be viewing your stream. If someone joins your stream and no one is talking, they are going to leave immediately. If you are talking to someone, it's a lot more likely for people to stick around in your streams. What do you think about that? All right.
Up to you. I got a lot to say on that, but
Why don't you? I talk enough. Why don't you go ahead and I'll say my bit. Remember, this is our opinion. I will say I think this works. It depends on what type of person you are. For that one.
Depends on what type of person you are, but I totally disagree with that. And I gotta say, let's take their example. Okay, you're gonna call your friend on Skype. You are streaming. Your friend maybe not know all Twitch TOS as you must have read them. First of all, so you get a chance to get banned by getting anybody's chat. That's one thing. Second thing, if somebody freaking joined the chat, you're not paying attention, you're talking with your friend, that looks like you can be ignoring your chat too. Or that maybe, you know, like, oh, hi chat, and blah, 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 with your friend, because of course you have more, you know, thingies going on with your friends, and then you're maybe gonna be neglecting your chat a little bit more. Like, everything to me is absurd. This freaking tips is absurd to me.
Wow. So you're completely against it.
Oh yeah, I'm terribly against it, big time. And plus, if he's talking over you and everything, it's terrible.
Well, I've had some bad, not really bad experiences, but you know, if I'm streaming, this is a good tip for people that are not good at talking to themselves when they have no chatters or anything. These are for people that really struggle. And a lot of people do. I say
struggle too. Everybody struggled.
I know, but I'd say, would you let me go now? Let me go. It's my turn. You're very passionate about this one.
Sorry, yeah, I am.
And I'd say most people are that way, is that they're not very good at talking about the game when there's no chatters. So that could be a good thing, and that could help. For me, I used to do that, and it's on both ends. I remember I was playing with somebody, and we had open communications, and they were also streaming, and I talk way too much, as you can see on this video right now. On my end, I felt bad for the person for her that was streaming with me, because she didn't mute me or anything. I'm just coming right through her stream, and I'm completely overbearing, and then I take control of her stream. And that's not what I want to do. That's her stuff. And, you know, vice versa. If I have a friend of mine that's on my stream, now, he's distracting me from my chat. I mean, in a good way, because I do want to talk and communicate. But, you know, this is my stream, and I want to talk to my chat. And like you said, the viewers maybe want to talk to you and not be just listening in on a conversation. So that's why, for me, and I know a lot of people disagree and they don't like it. And I say, hey, that's just the way my chat works for now anyway. I am all about the chat engagement. So if I'm communicating, I can't focus on the chat if I'm communicating with my friends on the game, unfortunately. Now, of course, there's pros and cons. You won't have good communications in the game, but I'm willing for that trade-off to happen because I want to pay attention to my chat. Also, there's a huge problem, especially if your chat's coming through your stream. Who knows what kind of microphone your friends are using? And like you said, so someone might say something inappropriate, which happened to me one time. I could see where this article is getting at, but I am not an advocate in my stream. But remember, my stream ain't your stream. We're just giving you our opinion here. So if that works for you, go for it.
The thing is that every time we go over this subject, I always feel like we're gonna be judged as such assholes that neglect their friends.
Yeah.
So that really depends on what you want to do with your stream. If you just want to hang out with your friends,
yeah,
cool.
What fucking snobs? They're too good. Yeah, they're too good to fucking talk to us. When I play with you, Cabalet, I don't talk to you. I don't talk to anybody.
He doesn't talk to me. No.
Not even her. It's not even her.
And I'm the most fucking entertaining between the two of us.
They're so
bitch.
Oh, you definitely are. You're so fucking snobby, man. You won't even communicate, bro. Or maybe find a happy medium then. Here's a good suggestion. Maybe what I'm saying, you do still want to communicate with your teammates, but maybe what we're saying is really resonating with you right now. And you're saying, Benda, you're right. Maybe have a happy medium where your friends only communicate when they need to. Like if something's going down in the game and you need to know some sort of comms, maybe do that instead of Then again, if that's your content, if you're just having a conversation with your buddy and it's awesome and everybody loves that, go with it. But just think about it. It's something to think about. It's our opinion. It's something to think about. All right? That's it. And then the last one is be persistent. Let me read what this actually means because I feel like that is also consistent.
Yeah.
So, streams may go great or bad. Not every stream will be fun. Someone may join your stream and start harassing you or other viewers. There are tons of things that could go wrong when you stream. You start a successful channel, you have to keep going even when things go wrong. And that's it.
Sorry, that wasn't funny at all, and I left.
Yeah, why are you laughing, weirdo?
I'm so sorry. I feel like this article, the way it's like written,
it's not super duper.
I
mean,
feel
it's
like
good.
It's something I would have wrote, you know, with a little T like this.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
But it's nice because it's understandable. So.
I mean, we won't go too long into it because I can make a whole video on this, but it's right. Shit's gonna go wrong. People are gonna turn on you and be fucking annoying. You just gotta keep your head on straight and keep moving forward and focus on improving the stuff, and don't focus on
Don't lose your time.
Yeah, exactly. Don't waste your time with thinking about stupid shit. Be constructive. If you have a shit stream,
much time on it.
I mean, I think people really have the tendency if they have a bad stream, they're gonna quit. Poor me. Woe is me. Everybody has bad weeks, bad months, whatever. Instead of feeling bad for yourself, put your time into the product. Wonder why that stream didn't go well or why you're losing maybe, and figure it out.
Either, but if it's not your fault, like don't fight it. Like
yeah. Well,
support them and do the things, but don't focus on it like it's something that is like gonna ruin your entire stream because that's their goal, and you're not gonna let them.
Don't let them win, and don't stoop to their level. They mentioned harassment in there, and absolutely right. If you let them win, if you start getting upset about it, so those are the 10 tips. I think most of them are pretty good and something to think about.
But I think overall that's pretty accurate. That's pretty good.
Oh, definitely. I'm always
that's
right.
That's not like the main tips I would give to somebody who would come to me. Like I think I'd go a lot through networking maybe and some other points.
Let's do that in a different video. We're over time.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah. That's this list. This isn't our list per se. We're just giving you our opinion on this list, and we'll put the link to these tips in the description of the video. So I'm Benda42, and Cabalette, where could we find you, Cabalette? I didn't say.
If you guys don't know me yet, I am a the admin and co-leader of TeamB42. Okay, so you can find me on Discord if you need some nice little emote, as it's been, what I've been doing mainly lately. You can also find me on Twitch. I rarely stream, but I do for like the big event. We're gonna hosting a charity event very soon. Well, it depends on the time when they are watching this video, really. But yeah, you can find me anywhere.
I'll put all her links in the description since she's terrible. She's terrible at promoting where we could find her. Cabalette
on Twitter. Find me on Twitter.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Twitter and Twitch, and we'll have the links. And you also do emotes for people who needs them. All right, guys. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.
See you guys.